Then now we talk about anatomy of the meditation system. So meditation, I call that as a meditation system like any other system in the body. So in the meditation system, how many parts we have? We have physical body and a world in front of the physical body. Physical body and the world. And which has, physical body has brain, then organs of senses, 5 organs, and organs of activity, or hands and activity, and the objects of senses, all the whole thing. These are all is the kind of the physical body and the world. What is the second one in meditation system? Is thinking faculty. What are the thinking faculty that we have? Mind, intellect, ego, and chitta, that is called vasanas. Third one, we have one more. What is that? You can know? Deep inner self. That is the third one. That is nothing but pure consciousness. You can call it a soul, and you can call it an intelligence. So, these are the anatomy of the meditation system. Now, what does the mind does is, mind mediates between the consciousness and the world through the body. The mind is in the center. The consciousness, the mind acts, mediates between the consciousness and the world. And what is the objective of the meditation is using the mind to experience the consciousness. Using the mind to experience the consciousness is nothing but the goal and final objective of the meditation. Now we are entering into the physiology of the meditation. What happens when you do meditation? What actions takes place when you do the meditation? Before we know what happens during meditation, we should know what happens in a non-meditative mind. When you don't do meditation, what happens? Then you will understand better what happens when you do the meditation. What happens when you don't do the meditation and normally perform your daily activities of the body? What happens? You all agree that there is a consciousness, there is a soul. There is nobody that won't agree with this. There is a soul, consciousness. And there is a mind. And there is a body and the world. What happens? The consciousness sheds light on the mind. Without that light that is shed by the consciousness, the mind is inert. And the light that is used by this mind, the consciousness can tell the mind whichever way you want to use that light, you can use it. You have a free will. The consciousness don't tell the mind, hey, it is my light, so you should use that light the way that I tell you. No. It will give a freedom to the mind, to the light that is sent to the mind can use it any way that you want it. So, the light was shed by the consciousness on the mind. That mind reflects that light to where? To sense organs of the body, or your sensory organs. From the sense organs, what happens? That light is reflected to the organs of action. When the light again are reflected from the organs of action to the objects. This is how it happens. An example. Suppose on the breakfast time, and I want onion dosa. And the consciousness sends the light to the mind. Mind can think whatever she wants. Okay. The thought of onion dosa came onto the mind. Okay? The mind immediately consumes the energy or light energy that it got from the consciousness. The consumption of the energy starts. That it uses that energy to activate our eyes. Hey, look for onion dosa. Okay? It consumed energy, it got some energy. Then the eyes, we tell the hands, find one and grab the onion dosa. Again, the light is dissipating, the energy is dissipating. The energy goes and find the onion dosa and put it in the mouth and give it to the tongue. Tongue is very happy. Okay, I got onion dosa mind. Oh, God, okay, I am happy till noon. Again, the noon, again the same thing starts. This is what happens in a non-meditating person. I hope you understand. This happens in a non-meditating person. Now we understand what happens in a meditating person. What is the difference between a physiology of a non-meditative activity and a meditative activity? Same thing. The consciousness shed its light on the mind. Same thing, no change till that part. Now what happens? The mind gets onion dosa. Then what we do? We don't let that energy of thought will dissipate into the sense organs. And we will not let the energy dissipate from the sense organs to the organs of action. We don't let the energy to dissipate from organs of action back onto the state. So all this consumption of this energy, we will control. We will control. We will end that cycle only at the thought level. We will end that cycle only at the thought level. We don't let it go. We don't let it go further. Then what happens? Before we were consuming the energy. What we are doing now? We are conserving the energy. We were consuming the energy before, we are conserving the energy before. That's what happens in meditation. But is this the end of the meditation? No. This is only the beginning of the meditation. What we tell, go, sit down, watch your breath, watch your thoughts, let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go, we keep watching it. This is only a beginning of the meditation. This is not the end of the meditation. This is not the goal of the meditation. This is not the objective of the meditation. This is only a beginning of the meditation. Because we have to start somewhere. Then you are starting, so we are starting. This is only the beginning of the meditation, but not the end of the meditation. What is the end of the meditation? If you keep practicing this, consciousness sets the light on the mind. The mind is trying to conserve that energy that it has got from the consciousness without consuming it anymore, even in the form of thoughts. And consciousness sends the energy, conserves that energy, and use that energy, tilt it back, and focus back onto that consciousness. It's not consume the energy, it conserves the energy, uses the same energy to look at the consciousness back. So what is there? Same light, same light. There is no different, there is only one. So that mind itself experiences the consciousness. When the mind experiences the consciousness, there is no thought. That's what the not consumption, conservation of the energy took place. and the mind experiences the consciousness. When the mind experiences the consciousness, what happens to the mind? There is no mind now. When there is no thought, there is no mind. So mind disappears. And there is only consciousness that remains. That is the goal and objective and aim of the meditation. I hope you all got it. So, this is what happens in meditation. Now, if you want to give an analogy, what is this? Consciousness falls on the mind. Mind again reflects onto the objects. How do I understand? Is there an analogy or an example that you can explain? Yes, I can. Sun. Sun has its own energy. Sun is nothing but energy of consciousness. Then moon. Moon does not have any energy of its own. The sun sends its energy to the moon in the form of light. That's why moon is always compared with mind. Whenever on Purnami day, all is a lot of activity. That was pure lunatics. What is lunatics? Which word? Lunatics, because in the lunatics, in the mad people, they are very, very excited on the full moon day. That's why they call the lunatics. Lunatics and lunar is almost same. So always the moon is compared to the mind. So the moon reflects that light onto the earth and causing all the night and days, all the change of the seasons. So if you want to understand, the consciousness reflects its light on the mind and mind reflects on the body, you can have that idea like this. Sun, moon and the earth, and you can follow that analogy, you can understand it better.